Maurice, welcome to Action A
Yeah.
Go Go.
How are you doing, Derek? Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. And a quick story before we dive in. Do you remember working with Juan Pablo Raba?
Oh yeah, I know Juan.
Yeah, I absolutely forgot that he was in Narcos when I interviewed him a couple weeks ago. So I don't know if you know him or not, but maybe you could just reach out and say Derek Scarzella apologizes for missing that. And he's going to go, who is that? Who cares? But just wanted to touch on that because you were in Narcos with him, and this
Mm.
role really gave me Narcos vibes, would you say?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do know Juan. Juan and I just saw each other a few weeks ago, as a matter of fact.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. It does kind of have a Narcos vibe, doesn't it? And I also think that that it actually, other different and the same to films like Griselda. I think that, this film kind of empowers women without having them in kind of like that whiny, beggy way where they're really just kind of taking the bulls by the horn, the bull by the horns and really kind of creating their own destiny, which is really what I loved about this film compared to other, women portrayals that I've seen in recent past.
No, absolutely. And of course, we're talking about Dominique. It's going to be available October 11th. And just to pivot to that, sort of skipping ahead, but yeah, you work with Oksana Orlan on this, and she does an incredible job with this movie. She stars, she's doing all these action scenes. She's really empowered in this. That's part of what attracted you to this role, or what brought you on board in general.
I think what brought me on was the script was fun. The ability to execute something so ambitious was fun. But I think that talking to Mike and understanding that he had a real understanding of what he was going to be doing and that he had a real vision from beginning to end was really the most exciting part for me. Mike definitely has a command of film and a knowledge of not just of shooting shots, but of then assembling it together. And I think that those two things really play into each other when you're considering doing a film of, you know, this budget and this magnitude.
Absolutely. So, what would you say Mike's style was working with you? Was he more hands-on, or did he like just trust you to embody the character and bring what you could bring to the role?
He had a laser focus. Mike knew exactly the shot that he needed. He
Hmm.
knew exactly the way that he wanted things to unfold. So it became very easy to rely on him to get information. He was literally cutting the film in his head. He was cutting the film at night. He knew exactly. We never wasted a shot with anything. He would be like, we don't need to those extra 5 seconds. I know exactly what this is going to cut to right here. And we got that. He was very meticulous with it, and it really inspired confidence when you were there. Because at one point, you have to sort of surrender to the director. You have to just surrender to his vision. And it not only happened sooner rather than later, but he absolutely executed it during the edit. He did
Excellent.
exactly what he said he was going to do.
Excellent. Very good. Yeah, and he's done this quite a bit with Oksana as well. They're quite a gruesome twosome in that sense. Um,
Yeah,
but you did spend time in Colombia to shoot this film, correct?
correct. Yeah, we were there for I think a month and a half, maybe 2 months. Yeah, we were there for a bit of
Okay.
time. Yeah,
Was
love
it
Colombia.
was it old hat for you at this point, or did you discover anything new this time around?
Um, Colombia has the second most biodiverse ecosystem in the world. You're always going to discover something new in Colombia. Colombia is an amazing place.
Excellent, excellent. And so Conejo was involved in this film, and I did have a chance to talk to him. He did sing your praises, but what was it like working with Conejo, someone who comes from being a musician for so long, very interesting background, martial arts background. What was it like working with him on this film?
Conejo's a real person before he is an actor, and he's a consummate pro. He's really concerned with the way that things, play out, which really makes you feel confident when you're working with him that he has a level of standard that is going to be on par with what I have and what I like to play off of. So it was easy to work with him. And I think we ended up not only, I think when you have that level of work with people, it also becomes easy to establish a friendship, which, we then did.
Very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Now, what about your job as an actor, right? Like in this role, you are playing a heavy, right? You're playing a brutal
Mm.
person. No spoilers or anything. Don't want to give too much away. But how do you go about accessing those emotions or planning that out for yourself when you're ready to be on set and give those lines?
I think that I come predisposed to a lot of it, having it been part of a big part of like, my career playing the heavy, even whether I'm the good cop, there's still like a dark aspect to me, or whether I'm big evil and, whatever it is. And, whatever it is that I'm doing, there's that base level of, heavy, hard emotion. And I think that it's really the devil is in the detail with characters. And so it's about making them specifically come alive to their world, their circumstance, and how they fit into the larger picture of the overall film.
Got it. And what about just when you are playing the other side of the coin, right? When you're playing the cop versus, well, in this case, it's the evil cop, right? But when you're playing the cop going after the mouse, what motivates you in those roles, or what do you try and strive for in those roles?
I obviously try to stay true to the script, but the main thing for me in those situations is I understand that, I want to make Oksana shine. I want to be able to bring a level of intensity that when she counters that level of intensity, she's actually raising the ante for the entire film. She's raising the bar. So I think it becomes part of it is just being aware of how you want not just yourself to be perceived, but how you want to have yourself be perceived and juxtaposed to the other actor that you're playing off of.
Wow, very good, very good. And what do you think is the overall message of the film that you'd want people to take away from it?
Girls rule. Um, don't fuck with the bad bitch. I think that the real message is, women are just as capable. Watch out. It's time to stop underestimating them. And, it's like, and it's not like it's a new thing, but it's an ongoing thing. And it's nice to see those kind of things. What do you want to say? Like, bad guys don't win in the end, good over evil. Yeah, there's that. There's always that. Like, that's kind of the feel good message at the end of every film. But what is the real film about? It's about a woman becoming empowered and not going to be a victim anymore to this kind of thing. I think the main message is to have women see it and feel that they can become empowered.
Yeah, well, I think the movie definitely does a lot to do that. I mean, in terms of, I said this before in a previous interview, but the quality of the film comes through, the quality of the performances, the quality of the action. It did manage to surprise me. I will say that. Have you seen the final cut of the film,
Yeah, yeah,
okay? What
yeah. And
were
again, I think that the message of this film is, I mean, the Santiago is guilty of it. He underestimates her. You know what I mean? And I think it's don't underestimate not just your adversary, but especially if you think that you're going to underestimate him. It's better that you overestimate him than you underestimate him. And when he overestimated, it was already too late. Santiago, that was Santiago's kind of like flaw. He didn't treat her, he didn't give her the respect that he should have given her in the beginning and mobilize what he should have mobilized. He kind of underestimated the whole situation early on.
Yeah, and fortunately that gives us a great movie to watch.
Yeah,
Um, and lots of kicking of ass, so to speak. Maurice, thank you so much.
Derek, thank you, my man.
This was an absolute pleasure. You did a fantastic job with the movie. Please tell Juan Pablo I loved him in Narcos and apologize for that interview. And best of
Well,
luck with everything.
thanks, bud. Thank you so much.
This is Derek Scarzella. Thank you so much for watching this video. Just doing a quick outro. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Above all, we want to hear what you have to say about this video, this movie, what it meant to you. Also, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, of course, YouTube. Check out our website, actionagogo.com. And of course, you can check out my own novels. Knuckle Crackbone, as well as The Vicious Game. Links are all down below. We also have a merch store if you want to enjoy our glorious Action A Go Go electric logo, which is going to come right after this. And of course, again, thank you so much for watching. It's super appreciated. Hope you had a good time. I know we did. Bye.